Hello and welcome everyone to Combox. You have Shayan here with me. I'm your host Shayan and I have Varun here with me and Ashwin from Cricket by JB. And today we'll be combining to make the all-time 12 for Chennai Super Kings, the joint most successful franchise in the Indian Premier League. And so we have one CSK fan here and another person who is Varun and another person who is completely denying all allegations of being a CSK fan. So what are your first thoughts, guys, on this team, on CSK in general?
Well,
Yeah,
for
it used to be a very
starters,
good team before they started doing nonsense. Yes.
that is very true. Even when I was going through, or I was trying to make my playing 11 and then plus one, I had a very interesting. I first wanted to pick someone who would be out of the blue, but then I thought I'll do what I have to do, and then I think my thoughts on my playing 11 personally, before we get into things, I think it's quite weird. I think statistically it might be up there, but just looking at the balance of the squad, I don't know how I feel about the squad. But yeah, those were my first thoughts.
Uh,
What about
promising
you,
signs.
Varun?
Yeah, I actually like the CSK team I made, assuming we
Yeah,
have similar
same.
concepts in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you're
I
concerned
like
about
my
the balance.
CSK
I
team
feel
too.
like the balance is great, assuming
Exactly.
you
I
pick the
don't
right
think I'm
team.
worried about balance. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
worried about the balance so much. I think the bigger issue is probably which players do we pick in certain roles more than actually the balance. And it's a good team. Like it's a mix of old and new, I would say. The fact that CSK have had different generations where they've been successful, I
That
think
is
that
true.
plays a part in that.
Yeah, also, like, regardless of which generation we go for, one generation will be very upset of the fans. So,
There's
yeah.
basically three generations, right? Like the middle one and the early one and the later one, obviously. And there is overlap as well in all of those.
No, there's
Yeah.
like two major fan groups where you have the fans that love them before the ban, essentially, and then you have the fans who love the Dad's Army CSK. So it depends on which one you like more.
That is very,
Yeah,
very
I
true.
suppose so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think so today Ashwin has the first pick and then it's myself and Varun goes third. So you can take it away, Ashwin. Go with your first pick.
All right. So my first pick was a bit of a. I was confused by it, but then I've settled on him. I think he would have been my first pick regardless. Now, from now on, if I have to make a CSK all-time 11, he would be my first pick. He's the sixth highest run scorer as an opener for Chennai Super Kings, and that's Matthew Hayden. He is my first pick. I think he's done a lot of things right for me in terms of numbers to be part of the all-time playing 11 for CSK. Yeah, he is. I mean, I can get into the numbers, but let's stick to his name to begin with. But yes, he's my first pick.
I had him
How do
too.
you feel about that? Yeah, I had him too
I had
actually,
him.
I had
Yes.
him in the team, although like I was looking at other options as well, the other opening options. Essentially, I wanted to go with one overseas opener, but I did not expect
Same.
Matthew Hayden to be the first pick in an all-time CSK
I was not
list.
expecting him
CSK
to go
12.
first at all.
Yeah, are you going in the order of the batting lineup?
Yeah, I'm going in the order of the batting lineup. Let's just put
Okay,
that
that
like
makes
an
more
FYI.
sense.
Let's
Okay,
just put that straight. Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
makes sense. Shayan, you?
All right, then I think then it's up to me to go with one of the two big guns from CSK. Actually, before that, we can talk about Hayden's true numbers as well, since I was also going
Yes.
through it, and he was the opener that impressed me the most. So his
Yes.
true average is 16 and a true strike rate of 25.
Yes.
Impact per innings of 5.9, which is like absolutely insane for the era that he was
Yeah, I
playing in,
think
especially.
when we
Like he
did
was
the Sehwag video last year, he was the
exactly,
name that kept popping up as well on that. And he was
exactly.
very
Yeah,
old when he played the IPL, so we don't even see the
yeah.
best of
And
him.
yeah, so I was actually reading this piece on the Indian Express. I think it was by Devendra Pandey, and he wrote about Pradeep Sangwan, right? And Pradeep Sangwan was talking about his experience of bowling to Matthew Hayden because he would walk down the crease and like he had that aura, dude, and he would play with
Yes.
that mongoose bat. I think bowlers
Oh,
would be
I was
really
just.
scared of him.
Yes, before the Mongoose bat got banned, of course. But even like when you look at the CSK openers, even now, like he's the sixth highest run getter, but he also has the highest strike rate in the top six batters. Like even now, and I
Yeah,
think that is insane for the time period that he
yeah,
batted
that
in,
is
and the fact that
yeah.
he was old. He was in the far end of his career, like Pratap would say.
For
But
some
yeah, so
reason, I feel like the Aussie players crack T20 better than the Indian ones, the older ones, that is. Like if you look at Gilchrist,
Yeah,
you look at
because if
Simons as
you,
well. Simons
yeah,
drops
like
off, but
Hayden, for
even he has
example, was not actually very attacking in ODI cricket, right? He's only slightly above
exactly.
par. And even in Test cricket, he's
exactly.
extremely attacking in the IPL for some reason. I don't know where
Yeah.
the logic is. At least with Gilly, he's an outlier in all formats, isn't he?
Hmm.
So I can understand
True.
it logically. Like Hayden just completely catches
Yeah.
me off guard.
Yeah.
Definitely agree.
And in the
All
time
right
period
then.
that he
So
did open for the Chennai Super Kings, he was the second highest run getter as an opener, but he was the only batter to have an average of more than 30 and a strike rate of 130. When I was going through his numbers, I was in awe of him. I feel like I would just pick him as an opener in every CSK all-time
I
11.
think that's fair. And he has won trophies as well, right? Like he was part of the
Yes.
2010 IPL winning team. So you cannot even use the trophy argument against him, can you?
And he was the orange cap in 2009.
Yes.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. But that's a cool fact as well. All right.
Yeah,
then.
plays a
So,
great
32
knock in
matches.
the 2009 semi-final too before Dhoni stinks it up that
Yes.
game. But yes,
2009 they lose, right? Oh yeah, actually I think the season where CSK don't win the title is when he doesn't have a. When CSK win the title is when he doesn't have a great
He does.
season.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
He didn't
only
have a
got
great
346
2008.
runs.
He didn't have a great 2010. But yeah,
No,
2009.
2008 he doesn't play much only, bro. He's only
Oh,
played
yeah,
four
so
innings
4-5
and
matches.
he's
Correct. Yeah.
189 runs, 4 innings, 63 average, 144 strike rate. I'll take that. And he actually, his best IPL was the one that was in South Africa, right? Where he makes 572 runs, strike rate of 145. Like,
Yep.
that is honestly crazy in just 12 innings, right? And then the one in India, the title that they win, he doesn't have a great tournament. He averages 22 strike rate of 124. So I think that is there. He does get a 93 or 43 even in that season against Delhi. So I think that kind of helps his numbers to get to where they are. But I think that is enough on Matthew Hayden. We can move on to one of the Indian star players for CSK. And I think I will go with the man who you associate with Chennai Super Kings the most. It is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. The man, the myth, the legend. You cannot look past him. I mean, there are people who have their, they debate about whether MS Dhoni, how great MS Dhoni is as a batter in the IPL. But let's just say, even if you don't rate him as highly as a batter, you cannot look beyond the keeping and the captaincy and just the cricketing smarts that he brings to the table, right? I know Varun is probably going to disagree with me based on how he has gone into this rabbit hole of early 2010s India and how they didn't utilize Yusuf Pathan and all of that. But purely sticking to CSK and in the IPL,
yeah, I love
he
him.
has
I like
made
him for
things work.
CSK.
Exactly. He has
Yeah.
made things work like anything. He's won with old guys, he's won with new guys, he's done everything that you
Yes.
expect
Yeah.
from him. Like, how many captains in the world would you imagine are going to win an IPL title with Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar? Like, you have to give it to the guy at some point, right? And
Forget
he just
that. He
keeps
won a
doing
title with Tushar Deshpande as the thing that
Yeah,
made him
I was
Yeah,
just
in
gonna say
2023,
that, yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So he has a knack
Yeah.
of making things work over and over again. But now I think at this point, the other issue that has probably come up is that they are too reliant on MS Dhoni in the sense that they sort of also need to start moving on and looking at the future and probably, start making another person the face of the franchise, whether it's Ruturaj Gaikwad or Sanju Samson, or at least, give Sanju Samson the gloves for some time in this season, I think, because you don't want to be in a situation where, such an old, like Dhoni is quite old now, right? I honestly don't even know his age right now, but you don't want him to be keeping that much when Sanju Samson can do that and has done that pretty well for both India and Rajasthan Royals. So I feel like that is there, but for me, the best of Dhoni is still 2018 to 2019, dude. Like that Dhoni, I think instilled fear in me as an RCB fan. That was probably like, I used to be so scared of him, and he won that game in 2018 out of nowhere. In 2019, he almost won the game out of nowhere, which actually Varun picked as the best innings ever in the IPL, according to him in the Quick Picks, because that's his favorite innings ever. Which I can
That's my
see the
favorite.
logic behind that,
Yeah.
And there are obviously there are early IPL seasons as well. There's that
Yeah, I
2013
disagree
season, I
with you a
believe.
bit. I don't think it's the best version of him, but it's my favorite
I think
version
it's
of
the
Dhoni.
scariest
because he
version
comes
that
back,
I've
right?
seen.
Yeah.
That I have seen at least. Because I don't remember
fair,
early
like-
Dhoni as much, right?
Yeah, I remember early Dhoni. Early, like 2013
No, I
was,
do.
I remember well, right? Yeah.
Oh,
That was
fair.
terrible. That was very good. He was very good in
Yeah,
that.
2013
season.
Dhoni was also like a gun,
Yeah.
absolutely. And even
Yeah.
2012, right, when I sent you the
Yeah.
ball by ball of that eliminator innings,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
I don't know how
Love
his
that
season
innings,
was,
yes.
but the eliminator dude, he was just insane. I mean, 51 of 20, just like that was a helicopter shot-esque innings in general. So,
Yes.
like, just crazy stuff from him. And winning so much, winning 5 titles, I mean, just I think you cannot look past him. And I know we can make the case that the guy that Varun is now going to pick is a better batter for CSK, purely as a batter, especially in terms of peaks. I think you can definitely make that claim. But yeah, I'm happy with Dhoni as my pick.
Yeah, I'll actually
Yeah, I
leave
think
that
Dhoni.
batter to you because I kind of want to get the overseas done with.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, you were
Let's
saying,
go.
Ashwin.
No, I was saying, I mean, Dhoni as the first pick makes sense if it's not according to the batting order. He was my number 5 batter,
Yeah.
just putting it out there. But you're right when you
Yeah,
say that
roughly.
CSK do need to find a new face when it comes to like the
Hmm.
franchise itself. Because even last year, there was so many instances where he was walking around with heat pads or cold packs around his knee. For someone who doesn't play a lot of cricket, just to play in the IPL and to suffer so much, I mean, it just says that it's about time until like just give it up. Like it's okay.
Like, I know retirement is the personal thing and all of that, but honestly, I felt 2023 couldn't have been more perfect, right?
Yes, exactly.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was the season to just
Yep.
call it a day. You've won 5 titles, but I see that there are two logics against that. I think the first one is obviously the fact that he wants to win at Chepauk, and I think plays last game at Chepauk. I think that is the line of reasoning. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the other one is I think they probably want to win more than Mumbai Indians by the time he's done. Like, those are the only two possible reasons that I can see. And obviously, CSK as a brand could just want to milk the star power of Dhoni, right? That
Yeah,
nobody wants to miss out on that.
But now I feel like with Sanju Samson in the mix, I feel like they could
Yeah.
just try.
They should start the transition this season, according to
Yep.
me. I was talking the same to Deepak and Shravan Bhai when we were doing the Hindi live. We all were all of the same opinion, pretty much.
Right. Varun, who's your first pick?
Go for it, Varun.
So I'll actually go for Albie Morkel and Dougie Bollinger as my first 2 picks.
Ooh,
Whoa.
let's go.
Yes.
Damn.
I had Morkel too. Yes.
I had
Yeah, I think-
Morkel.
I think all
didn't
of
have
us would have,
Bollinger
yeah.
in the mix, but I had Morkel, yeah.
His numbers are absolutely incredible, by the way, Bollinger's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I have to pick him for old CSK reasons. I think as someone that loves the 2010, 2011 seasons, I think Dougie Bollinger was so incredible. I think MS uses him 2 at the top, 2 at the death. His death overs record is actually incredible if you look at it, right? His true economy at the death is
Yeah.
like +2 or something, isn't it? Like
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
even not like
Yeah.
normal numbers, it's like 7, which is crazy for any era, I would say. I do think he's a bit forgotten in history, but I think he deserves it. Also, if you look at Albie, I think Albie is such a gun all rounder for CSK. But what
Yes,
surprised
yeah.
me the most in my rabbit hole is he's a lot better versus spin than he is versus pace.
Exactly.
So my suggestion is, I think we move MS to 6 and move Albie to 5, so we can use the spin bashing more.
Exactly.
Fair
Same,
enough.
same.
I mean,
I had the
for me,
same
Albie
lineup.
Morkel was at 7, but yeah, I would take that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Doug Bollinger had a true economy of 2.07 and true wickets of 0.52 at the death. So that is just like crazy work from him. Pathirana is the other one. Pathirana also has he has
Yeah.
more wickets actually.
Do
He
you
also has a
remember
true economy of
Bollinger's
2.
first game?
Wait,
Do
which
you know what
season is
Dougie
it?
Bollinger's first game is? It's the 246 game.
Oh, okay. Okay, really?
I think
That's
it's like
crazy.
2 for 16 or 2 for 19 or something in that game. It's crazy.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
dude, wow.
And he gets
that is
Yusuf and
insane.
Watson out in your first game, right? Who are the 2 best Rajasthan
Wow.
batters.
Wow.
So,
That is insane. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't even think about
I'm
that.
a big Dougie
Yeah,
Bollinger fan.
and he also has won 2 titles, bro.
yes.
Possibly would have won 3 if not for KKR.
Damn.
Dude, the fun thing about this 11 is like, regardless of who you pick, you cannot make the argument that they've not won a trophy in some ways, like, because it's
That's
very very unlikely that you were part of CSK and part of an all-time 12 conversation and you've not won anything. Like, I've not checked it for each and every
I'd
player,
argue
but
CSK do not win 2012 because Dougie Bollinger does not play in the final.
oof, okay. So he was the one that, him not playing stopped a three-peat for CSK. Not Callis and Bisla getting the runs. That's a new cope
Worst
for Varun
CSK
now.
moment ever. Worst CSK moment ever. That letting Jack Callis and Bisla chase 192 in your home ground has to be a walk, right?
True. That's true.
No comments on further. All right then. So that means we have 3 of our overseas done, and
Yes.
it's back to me to pick another player, and I will go with Suresh Raina. Then it's very very hard to look past Mr. who we call Mr. IPL, and especially till 2014, 2015, he is an absolutely incredible batter in the IPL. Like, I think prime Raina is. He's probably just behind that tier of AB de Villiers, Chris Gale, and David Warner, right? At least for me, I really rate him very highly in the IPL. And I think we were talking about this before the live, right? I think he is the fourth best IPL batter ever for me. I would also say just because of his peak and because of what all he did in the playoffs in his peak especially, he might just be in that first tier of IPL batters in particular. Though I think you can obviously dispute that claim, and I myself am not very, I don't think I'm very confident about it when you just look purely at the numbers. But sometimes some of the innings that Raina has played, dude, like obviously we remember that we talked about the 87 in the Crick Picks, right? 87 of 25. It's just insane stuff, and he was one of those players who was just an incredible player of spin, right? I think we actually can look at his true values by pace and spin. That should help us, put more perspective into the sort of player that he was. But any other memories for you, Varun, Ashwin? What do you guys think?
Yeah, we were just
I mean-
talking about the 2012 final, right? 73
Yes.
of 38 that game. So
Crazy. Yeah. So his true numbers are actually interesting. So he is plus 13 against pace and plus 12 against spin. So I
Which
think
is very
I would assume
surprising
some
when
of
you
that is
think about
because
it.
he regresses as a player after 2015, right? So maybe
Yeah.
his spin numbers also get affected in that duration. But dude, that is still like it's better against pace than spin is something I was not expecting to see. But even considering all of that, he was an elite player of spin. I think there is absolutely no doubt in that. And the other conversation around him is that India never utilized the best of him in T20 cricket. They could have
Yes.
just slotted him at 3, have Kohli and Rohit opening the innings. I think that would have been far better in that time.
Why do you do this
And
to
if
me,
we just
Shayan?
go if we just start and talk about all of those things, like I think then Varun will start getting irritated, and
As
you
I
guys
said-
might actually
as I
see a
told Shayan.
10,000 word feature from Varun one
Yeah.
of those days.
I mean,
could,
but yeah, I
I
think-
could actually do a 10,000 word essay on the 2012 World Cup. Like it was my word.
oh,
Yeah.
You know-
What would you guys say is Raina's best IPL season though?
oh,
That's a good question. I like 2013. I think that's from what I've seen. 2013 was very good.
We were talking about all of those seasons. It's like it's not clicking me right now because I know we dissected even.
So from
impact
what
by
I've seen,
impact
it's
for games.
2013 for me because I didn't see
Yeah.
2008 to 2010. So I
Yeah,
don't
he's
remember
42
it.
150 in 2013, so I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would make sense. Yeah, and
I mean, he also has a
2014
strike rate of close
yeah.
to 150, like in the playoffs or anything after the group stage, and he has one of the highest strike rates for a CSK.
And that also
batter.
drops off, bro. I think because the second half of his career he doesn't
Yeah,
make runs.
it drops off,
in
but like
general.
overall,
Even
he has a
then,
strike
so
rate
you
of
can
I
150.
imagine
remember,
till-
so till 2014, it's 750s in 14 playoff innings. After that, he plays 10 where he doesn't make any. So
Yeah.
it really
That-
drops
what a
off.
heartbreak.
And he's still the best playoff batter
Yeah.
ever, even after that decline.
Yes.
Yeah,
Comfortably, right?
Yeah, not even a question for me. All right then, Ashwin, you have the next pick. Go ahead.
All right, so Suresh Raina was my number 3 batter, and I'm going again batting order wise. So if I said Matthew Hayden as one opener, the second opener for me is Ruturaj Gaikwad, and I had a bit of a tussle with him. I in my head it was too early to bring him on, but he's the highest run scorer as an opener for CSK, and he's just done so much as an opener, even if he hasn't played.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, he's played 61 matches as an opener, so it's
Yeah.
quite a bit of matches. And he has a true average of 13, a true strike rate of 11, and he's just
Yeah.
done a lot as an opener. And I think 2021 he was the highest scorer in the IPL. 2024 he was the second highest scorer in the IPL. So I feel like Ruturaj Gaikwad for me makes it in the all-time CSK playing 11.
Same.
Yeah, instrumental
I had
in
him
both
too.
the wins, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like we've just seen him play, right? Because when we started watching in 2020, we all remember, I think Dhoni had the comment where he was like, the youngsters don't have any spark. Like now I can't remember what the context was, so don't come at me, guys. But
No, the
think
context
they-
was exactly that. I think Harsha Bhogle asked
Context
MS
was
Dhoni, why don't you try
exactly
out
that,
other
yes.
youngsters? Like, why don't you do that? And MS Dhoni said, well, they're not ready yet and all of that, which is quite a surprising statement coming from him when you
thing
think
is,
about it.
yeah.
A lot of the changes that he made in the Indian team was a lot of young players walking in. But interestingly enough, Ruturaj Gaikwad has scored close to 30% of the runs when chasing and when CSK has won matches, which is
Oh,
again
wow.
insane when you think about it.
yeah, you would expect that from an anchor type player also, no? Like someone who can maneuver a chase. Also, I think he has that ability where he can bat well at 3. Like I don't even remember his numbers off the top of my head at 3, but he just feels like a batter who is comfortable starting well against spin in through the middle overs. And he also has that ability. I know I'm going a bit off topic, and I am referring to the one-day partnership that him and Virat had in the Raipur ODI, right, batting first. That was, I think, brilliant stuff because both of them were playing the field so well and they had an idea of what they were doing and they were still able to score briskly. I think Ruturaj Gaikwad does give you that. Yes, maybe in the impact sub era, he's not the gun opener that you're looking forward to, but I would say he's closer to that Shubman Gill sort of territory of T20 openers in the IPL. What do you think?
Yeah.
Varun?
All right.
So sorry, what? Yes, I agree with him. Yes. Yeah.
I was
I
also
think
going to say
it's-
that. Oh, sorry, Varun. I'm so sorry. Go on.
No, go for it. I think that's okay.
No, I was just gonna say I was gonna talk about his technique, and I was gonna say he's one of the most technically underrated batters because people don't often talk about his cover drive or straight drive or pull shots and cut shots. But when you look at his technique, it's very textbook. There's not an obvious mistake, of course. When you play a lot of red ball matches, I'm sure something would come up. But when you look at his when you look at his technique objectively, there's not an obvious flaw. And as an opener, that's just so great to have. Like, he has good hands. He moves his feet quite a bit. He's good against the spin, goes way back behind and steps out the crease. Even against fast bowlers, he's good against the short ball. He uses his feet quite well against the new ball. I think he's a brilliant and very, very underrated batter in the Indian circuit.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say is that I don't think I've seen another Indian batsman who's as good at accelerating after Virat Kohli as he is.
Yeah.
Like, he can go nuts if he's set, right? Like, we've seen this
Yeah,
a lot.
50 or 40
Like, he
to
can
100
get 50 of
60.
the last 18 balls so often when he's in
Yes.
form.
Exactly. For sure, I agree with that. Also, with Ruturaj, I know you say that he doesn't seem to have an apparent technical flaw, but I think I just noticed one thing that whenever he plays red ball cricket, I will admit I have not caught up a lot of his red ball cricket, but whatever I've seen, I do think he has a tendency to nick off outside off. But I think that is the case.
Right.
That is the case for most test batters, most red
Yes.
ball batters. I
Also,
mean,
like,
that
if
is also
you
the most
see his
obvious form
IPL
of-
record, he's not good versus a good length in the power play.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
Right,
other
right.
obvious
Yeah,
weakness.
fair.
It's
True,
why
true.
I'm like, do you know when people are like, well, he should be the number 3 in the Indian test team? I'm like, easy there. Don't make the Sai Sudarshan mistake again. Right?
I
Let's
can
not
see
go
that. I
there.
can see that. Yeah, and he doesn't have like a huge FC average, does he? Like, he's in the 40s, I think, from memory, and he's good, but he doesn't like stand out in a certain sense, does he?
No, it doesn't. And even this,
Yeah.
the average of 40s has only come about in the last year or so. Even like before that, his first class average wasn't great. But sticking to CSK, yeah, of course, makes it to
No,
the
no, of course,
all-time
for
11
CSK,
because
like,
his
yeah.
numbers are
He
fantastic.
is the batter you want if it's like a tough situation, sort of, for CSK, don't
True.
you? Although
And I
I
also
do
feel
think
like-
that. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I also feel like if he was opening with Matthew Hayden, they'd make such a good combination with left-right hander combination, and the way Hayden goes about his batting for the CSK and the way Ruturaj can just bat through the innings. Yeah, just the combination as an opening partnership. mwah, Love it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You got one more pick.
Yeah, go for
Oh,
it.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Now, I don't know how you guys would feel about this pick, all right? And I can defend it, but I'm also open to criticism is all I'll say. So my number 4 batter for the CSK was first MS Dhoni, and then I realized he's a better batter number 5. And so it's going to be Shivam Dube, who's
Yeah.
at number 4.
Yeah, I had it.
Oh, fair. All right, great. I didn't know. So I was thinking about Ambati Raidu, and then I looked at his numbers, and then realized he doesn't have the best of numbers for CSK. But in my memory, like, he's done quite a bit. But yeah, I stick with Shivam Dube. He
It's
can
the
bowl
2018
and-
season, right, where Raidu is really
Yeah.
good. But that is as an opener, if I'm not wrong. Most of that at least
Yeah.
is as an opener.
Yes.
So-
Yes. Yeah.
Also, Raidu, interestingly, he has good numbers at number 5 too for CSK. I was looking at this when I was trying to make the batting order, right, by position. So I noticed that, but I don't know, dude. Like, I also agree with you. I don't think I'd pick, I don't think it's fair to pick Raidu over Dube. And Dube at 4 fits in really well because he's an absolute spin basher. Like, he
True.
murders spin, not just bashes it. And to the extent that teams are so scared of bowling spin to him that they'll get on junk pace and he will hit that too. I know towards like the mid of 2024 till like the last season, there has been a regression in his spin play in the IPL. But then again, we saw in T20Is, he seems to have got it back. So let's see how crucial he will be in this IPL. But yeah, I also had him at number 4. And imagine him and Raina batting through the middle overs, dude. That would
That
be
is
something.
dude, exactly that. And
Two lefties,
interestingly,
though. Yeah.
sorry, Varun, go on.
Yes, I was just giving you the true numbers. So his true strike rate is +9 versus spin and +13 versus pace.
Nice. This also, I think, it comes down to the fact that he has this ability to not. Teams are so scared of bowling spin to him that they will not they'll not bowl their spinners to him, and then what will happen is that they'll get a pacer, and the pacer will not always be the best one probably, and that Dube can take down junk pace pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
What do you call?
And at
Do you
number
know
4, he's
Albies is
also
plus
strikes at
21?
once. Oh, wow.
Albi Moku's true strike rate versus spin is plus 21. Versus pace, it's minus 7.
That is
God,
crazy.
So you can't build spin to all three of them in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
true,
think we'll
true.
take that.
Yeah. I was also saying that
Shayan?
Shivam Dube, like at number 4, has a strike rate of 175.
Yes.
And if he were to bat, like Shayan said, with Suresh Raina, like
Yeah.
they're just going to tear the bowling apart. Like regardless of it being spin or pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, honorable mention to Subramanyam Badrinath. The
Yeah,
goat
dude.
of 10 for 2.
Yeah.
The
The
goat 10
ultimate-
for 2 man. The
Yeah,
goat 10
safe.
for 2 man.
Fail safe batter, right?
Yeah.
I think, what was it? Harsha calls him the umbrella man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's the second highest scorer at the number 4 position for CSK. I've thought about him. I gave it a big thought about Badrinath because I liked him as a batter. So he was so good to watch. Maybe not in the T20 format, but just generally. And I thought I would
No,
just
that's
sneak
fair.
him in, but yeah, I couldn't.
Nah,
And
he's
Dube
a
is
big
actually the ninth
part of
highest
CSK
run getter for
heritage.
CSK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, the crazy thing is Dube actually scores more runs per innings than Badrinath in the IPL. That is quite crazy. You wouldn't think of that, would you?
Yeah, he's been great for CSK.
No, he has. I'm just saying with Badrinath because he was not the fastest batter around, right? You would expect him to score more runs per innings, but maybe they just didn't use him in certain situations, and maybe they just sent him out later on when it was not required, and that affected. Maybe looking at it by entry point would give us a better clue, but I think that's fine. Badrinath is an honorable mention. I think we've got no issues with that. So I think it's
Yeah,
my
fair.
pick now, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Should I go with one of the spinners then? I think I will just make my job easy. I will go with Ashwin then. He is one of those Chennai boys who grew up playing for CSK. Like a lot of his early career is playing for CSK, right? And there's some, like, if you read his book, there's some really interesting anecdotes from those days. And the interesting part about CSK early on, like his first CSK stint, is how much Dhoni trusts him to bowl with the new ball, right? Also,
Right.
even bowling
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
death at times. So he's giving him the tough overs, and Ashwin is excelling pretty much. I would say that is his peak as a T20 bowler. And I mean, who else? Like, we cannot look beyond that dismissal of Chris Gayle in the 2011 final, right? So
Yes.
And
I
Q1,
think we can
isn't it?
actually go through his. Sorry?
He gets in both qualify 1 and the final, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, he does. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
From memory. And his true economy is 1.02.
One.
So he's conceding
Yes.
1 run and over less than expected over a full career of 103 matches. That 103 innings. Dude, that is just ridiculous. And true wickets of 0.1, which is also pretty impressive for a defensive spinner like him. But now I think the other responsibility has to be that with a defensive spinner, we need to pair an attacking spinner. And I hope we can do that. But do we have enough slots left now? That is the other question.
No, we don't.
I think
We can't.
Yeah,
we have to go for the other
we
overseas
possibly
team,
can't.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
the all-rounders and stuff. So, yeah, go on. Varun, it's your
I'll
take
take Dwayne Bravo. I think you have to pick him for the CSK
You
team.
have to pick him. Oh, yeah, there's no
Yeah.
doubt about that.
So that's why I think I know you were thinking of Imran Tahir. I was thinking of him, so I don't know how to get him in.
Yeah. I know. I'll tell you how. So, what I did
You know,
was. Okay, actually, we'll
interest-
break it down later. It doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about Bravo first, but I also have
Yeah.
something to say about another spinner because I also had Murli in my squad.
Yeah, same. I
I
had
had both
Tahir
off
slash
spinners.
Murali.
Yeah. Because interestingly, Murli and Ashwin are the only two spinners for the CSK to at least take 20 wickets and to have an economy of less than 7. And so I'm like, they take wickets, they don't concede a lot of runs, and they have to be in this squad. One is, and both are off spinners, but they're very different kind of off spinners. So it wouldn't be too
And
bad to have
Pratip
both
would be
of them.
happy if
would
you picked 2 off spinners.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, Bravo.
Yeah, but that reminds me,
Let's talk
Shayan,
about
you failed your brethren. You picked an offie.
Yeah, dude. I don't have a choice now. Since you picked Bollinger, I couldn't pick the leggy, right?
Yes. That's good.
Yeah.
Exactly
Had to do
according
that.
to my plan. What was I only picked one, right? I have 2, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I'll take Jadeja.
Yeah, had to pick both of those.
Yeah.
7 and 8, have them either order. I think that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think again,
Alright
I think
then.
Jaddu has been very critical for CSK in all the titles they've won. Like
Yeah.
MS also uses him very well. He doesn't always bring him
does.
on because CSK have so many all rounders. It does Jadeja. Like I think 2018 was hilarious. Like he almost doesn't bowl at all in the first half of the season, and then only bowls in the second half of the season. because I think that was when they also had Watson, right? I think Watson was still bowling for them, and eventually I think Dhoni was like, if Watson bowls, he will get injured, so I'm just not going to make him bowl again.
Yeah, Watson doesn't bowl much for CSK actually. Yeah.
No, he bowls. I think at the start, like
No,
one
I
over
know.
like semi regularly, and then
Yeah.
MS is like, I'm just not going to bowl Watson at all.
Correct.
For CSK.
I also think that's also because his body takes a toll, and I don't think he could
Yes.
bowl
Yeah.
himself.
For
But Varun, like, where would you have Jadeja in the batting lineup? Because I was.
Seven,
I
eight.
have him at 7.
Fair.
Yeah,
I had him
7
at
is fine.
8. Yeah.
Yeah, Jadeja,
Yeah, either
Bravo,
or is
whoever you
fine.
think can hit better.
Yeah,
on a given
exactly. Yeah.
day, I think that
Fair.
can be.
Yeah. Also,
So we have our
did you
top
guys
8
see
then, don't we?
Ashwin's batting for CSK? He's horrible for CSK.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for CSK, he didn't do a lot of things right. But you can have him at 9. He gives you some sort of insurance, I
Yeah.
guess. At least in theory. I know not for CSK in that sense, but yeah. So we have our first 9 ready then, don't we? And we actually even have Doug Bollinger. So we have 10 guys then. And so we need to pick an 11th and a 12th. All right then. It's back to me then, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, then just give me a second then, because you have thrown my plans off by picking Doug Bollinger, right? So
Yeah,
now-
my entire squad is the same apart from Doug
exactly.
Bollinger, I think.
Yeah, same,
Yeah.
same.
You have to pick Dougie for CSK 11, man. It's diabolical if you
All
don't.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So we have Ashwin and we have Jadeja, and we are going to be playing in Chipok. So we need another spinner. I think we can't go without a spinner, right? It's fine
Yeah,
if
but
pick Doug Bollinger.
I found it very difficult to find a third good Indian spinner. So
Wait, so
Yeah, so
who are
that's
f-
exactly
who
why
are
I wanted to
overseas
go-
again? So we have
That is why.
Hayden,
Yeah.
we
We
have
have
Hayden,
Bravo.
Albi, Bravo,
Right.
and Dougie.
of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, that is why I wanted to pick an overseas spinner, no? Because the third best Indian spinner is not of that quality. But I still think if you're playing in Chipok, you need spin, right? Like, how much pace will you bowl, dude?
Pace is pace, yeah.
Space, yeah. Bro, what are you
Because the
saying,
thing
man?
is, like, Bravo bowls. You have Albi Morkel who bowls. You also have Shivam Dube who can bowl. So you have
Yeah.
pace bowling options.
I think, dude, I will just go with Shadab Jakati then. I don't think we have another option because
Whoa.
yeah. No, dude, I'll tell you why. I'll give you the reason for it. We have Jadeja, and Jadeja is a defensive spinner, correct? Even
Right.
Ashwin, like, I know he has a true wickets of 0.1, but that is not the numbers of a strike bowling spinner, right? Jakati is at 0.27 for true wickets. Yes, he is negative on true economy. He's minus 0.59. But since Varun picked Doug Bollinger, and now obviously at this stage of this episode, we can talk about our combinations as well. So I had Deepak Chahar as the new ball option in my team.
Yo, same.
I actually
yeah,
had Nehra ji.
Yeah. Oh, I had him as the 12th. I think him or Mohit Sharma. So I was thinking about him, but the point is, I wanted Deepak Chahar because he's been one of those new ball
Yeah,
bowlers for
I
CSK.
had
I
him.
mean, whether you like him or not, he has done a job there for CSK, right? And I think he actually has been pretty good. Wasn't it his 2019 season where he takes 22 wickets? I know he has a tendency to get injured, and so he's not always able to play all the matches. And maybe he has been overvalued at times, but he's been a solid bowler for them. So I can't
Yeah,
do
he's been a
that.
good bowler, and at no phase of a T20 innings does he go at more than 10 runs per over. So I feel like that's solid. enough.
Yeah, I guess we can take that. The other spin option is probably someone like a Harbhajan, who is also negative on true economy, minus 0.32, 0.23 on true wickets. So that would have been the other option. But that was like an old Harbhajan who was playing for CSK.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how confident I am about that. Raina can give you some part-time spin. Obviously, we can't pick Mitch Santner either because of the overseas quota being
Overseas,
fulfilled. So I think we have to go with Shadab Jakati. We need 3 spinners at Chipok, bro. I don't care about it. we just need it. Because for pace, we have Albi, we have Bravo, and we
Yeah,
have
Chahar.
Doug Bollinger, right?
Yeah, true.
Right, and Doug Bollinger can give you 2 at the start, 2 at the end. Morkel, I think you can
Yeah,
use
Albi
him more
can
at
give
the
you 2
death.
at the start. I think Albi.
But Albi, I
uses
think
at the
he
start.
goes for a few in the power play from the numbers I was looking at. He does bowl
Yeah,
early
fair.
on, but he goes for a few. So you can mix and match accordingly, but you still have Doug Bollinger, right? And then towards the end, obviously, you can use Bravo as well. So who is a renowned death bowler. I know Varun also thinks he's a bit overrated at times, but he will do a job for you at the
I
death.
think he's good, but he's overrated
Yeah.
for sure.
No, I
Yes.
agree with that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've got Bravo and we've got Doug Bollinger at the end, and through the middle overs you have your spinners operating. I think that is a good team for a captain like Dhoni, right? Like that is exactly what you need. You need your three. You've got your three spinners. You've got a specialist seamer, and you've got your two all-rounder seamers. I think that more or less six bowlers with Raina and Dube, if at all you need that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And then I leave the 12th to Ashwin, or if he has a better choice, probably get Jakati out and get that 12th guy in. But I think I would
No,
stick with Jakati in the first.
I
12.
mean, now that we have Bollinger in the playing 11, I had a different 12th man, but now I would have Morley as my 12th man. I just feel like
Can we go with 5 overseas though? That was my question.
Don't think so.
I mean,
That's
if
what
11
I
plus
was
one?
wondering.
It's 11 plus 1, but I still think we were sticking to 4, weren't we?
Nah, I don't think you can go 5 overseas.
Fair.
Yeah.
Then-
Let's go
then I'll just-
keep it 4.
Yeah, then I'll just go with Mohit Sharma because he was going to be my 11 plus 1 anyway.
Yeah, I had Mohit or Nehra, one of them.
Yeah, I thought of
Essentially,
Nehra
with
too,
Nehra ji, his one season is absolutely incredible. But he only plays
Yeah.
20 matches for them. I think Mohit Sharma plays more for them, and
Yep.
he also has those successful seasons. I think wasn't he the Purple Cap winner in one of those seasons? Which season was it? 2014. But I am definitely
Think
sure he
so.
won the Purple Cap. Yeah, he won the Purple Cap at some point. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah,
So,
he's played
I think that's
48 matches for Chennai. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Picking up
so
58
you have
wickets
Mohit
economy.
Sharma then as your 12th. I think that's fair.
I have Mohit Sharma. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good team then. I like the look of the team. I do think, in theory, if we just go with the 10th and 11th picks, since 9 picks are common for both of us, right? Or all three of us, right? If we go with Chahar and we go with an overseas spinner, let's say Imran Tahir, because you can get a wicket-taking spinner as well, along with the
Right.
two, the left-arm finger spinner and the off spinner. You can get a leg spinner, so you have more variety in your spin as well. And you have different types of spinners who can bowl at different parts of the game, I think.
Right.
And so we're now missing that, but that is fine. And we would have had Deepak Chahar bowling with the new ball. But looking at how good Doug Bollinger is, I think that is an upgrade, but then our spinners are downgrade. But I think we can compromise on that. I think it essentially comes down to that. But what do you think, Varun? Would you make that change now if you could? I would.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know
if you have
about
to drop a seam, I'd drop Bravo before I drop Bollinger.
But you
knew
need
I was gonna
batting,
say that. I
dude.
think.
That
Yeah, it was
lower order
good.
batting, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind either way.
Okay, so
I don't hate that 11. I don't hate that combo at all. But yeah,
let's say you drop Bravo then, hypothetically. What would you do?
Hypothetically, of
You'd
course.
get another spinner for him.
yeah, you'd get Murli in my head. Murli or
But then your batting
Imran
at
Tahir.
8 is not very this thing, no? You have Ashwin
that's
then at
fine.
8. Which
I don't
Ashwin has
mind.
not done well for CSK with the bat.
Well, then he's
Okay, well,
banking
if
on
you don't want to
three
bat,
spinners.
Theoretically, it's fine.
Yeah, he's banking
Yeah,
on
that's
three
fine. I don't
spinners
mind.
to
I
get
don't
a
have
lot
an
of
issue with
wickets.
that. Historically, CSK aren't boom or bust, are they? I think they might be the worst offenders of batting depth I've ever seen. It's them and
Which is
like
true, yeah.
90 South Africa.
Yeah.
190 for 3 type of scores, right? Is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Yeah.
Power play,
I think
always
we can-
1 for 40 in the power play.
I think we can talk about the honorable mentions as well. Some of the other guys that you would have considered at some point. So
Actually, wait, let me read the picks out and then we can
Yeah,
do the honorable
we can do
mentions.
that.
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. So our final playing 12 is Hayden and Gaikwad opening the batting. We have Suresh Raina at 3, Shivam Dube at 4, Albi at 5, MS at 6, Jadeja at 7 or 8, and Bravo at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
We have Ashwin, Shadab Jakati, and Dougie Bollinger to finish 11, and Mohit Sharma as the 12th man. So the individual picks are Ashwin went with Matthew Hayden, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Shivam Dube, and Mohit Sharma. Shayan went with MS Dhoni, Suresh Raina, Ravichandran Ashwin, Shadab Jakati. I went with Albi Morkel, Dougie Bollinger, Dwayne Bravo, and Ravindra Jadeja.
Damn, Jakati waking
Honorable
up
mentions.
knowing that he's made the all-time CSK
Yes.
playing 11. Damn, it's just he would be shocked, but good on him.
Dude, how this disrespect, unbelievable.
There's not disrespect. I'm just like he will be shocked.
No, bro,
Let's
it
be
is-
honest.
It is disrespect, bro. So you took 13 wickets in 9 matches in South Africa, bro. That is actually, I didn't expect
No,
that.
he is a good bowler. I'm not saying he shouldn't be. Like I'm not saying anything about his.
Bro, he has won
attributes
2
or skill set.
titles. Like, there is no argument
True.
now. Like, it's
True,
over. He has trophies.
Indeed.
Every guy I think in our
Old
team has
CSK, man.
trophies.
Yes.
Yeah, that is CSK for you.
Yeah.
Dude, is there like a major CSK player who has not won a title? Like, with at least, like, say, 30 games or something? Is there a single player like that you can think
I'm
of?
not sure, actually.
don't think so.
Surely every CSK player has one at some point, like every major CSK player.
They must have.
Yeah. Sam Curran, I mean, played 28 games.
Dude,
He's
Sam
one.
Curran is not a main CSK player, is he?
We missed
He's played a
Faf. I
bit.
think he's.
Faf has won
He's an
21.
honorable mention.
Yeah, he
No, I
was.
mean,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
an honorable mention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Faf
yeah.
du Plessis, Shane Watson.
Mike Hussey.
I would. Mike Hussey.
Oh, yeah, Mike Hussey.
Could have gone with any overseas, honestly. I think. In
Yeah,
some
I
ways.
didn't
I know with Hayden you get
particularly
that
care.
extra, extra explosiveness. But honestly, I think all of those guys did a job for CSK at various points. And but yes, with Ruturaj as one of the openers, I think it makes sense, as Ashwin said, to have that attacking opener from the other end. But like, for example, if you look at Murli Vijay's true strike rate, for some reason it's really high. Like even though his strike rate is not that great, I think it's like
Yes,
plus
yeah.
13. I think it makes sense maybe because he played a lot at Chipok. I would assume that is the reason behind it. Because even I remember like when I grew up watching them, Vijay would go nuts at times. I think
Yep.
does he not make like 127 once? And he also has like a 90 odd one in one of the games, like one of the.
He makes
games
100
towards the end of a
versus
tournament.
Delhi. I feel like you've only seen the games
Bro,
where he's
may-
gone nuts, and not
Yeah,
all,
yeah, exactly.
not all the games where he's not. So,
Exactly. But bro, the true strike rate also supports him, so I think
yeah.
we can be happy with that.
I mean, old
Yeah, so-
IPL was diabolical in the power play. We had
That
so
is
many
also
guys
true.
striking at like 105, 110.
Yeah, all that is there. We obviously we talked about Badrinath, we talked about Raidu as well. Murli Vijay we just mentioned. Shardul Thakur might be an honorable mention as well. I mean, dude, he has also won
Wait, one
a
second.
trophy
Fair,
with them,
you know,
right? Hasn't
fair.
We can't pick Brendan McCullum because he ran Raina out.
he? Yeah,
It would be a
exactly.
crime.
That is like that is unethical to pick Brendan McCullum after what he did in
You can't
2014.
pick
Yeah.
No chance.
I think this is the tweet that often circulates when you see CSK Twitter, right? Like they what they basically say is if you see a CSK fan who is praising the Dwayne Smith and Brendan McCullum opening pair, then you just know that they are casuals. And I don't know how Varun feels about that. I'm not going to add.
I
much.
I don't care about Dwayne Smith, to be honest.
To be fair, I quite enjoyed the opening partnership. I thought it was pretty cool.
Casual
I was
exposed.
I didn't care.
back then. I wouldn't really care about numbers, but my
Exactly.
god, like watching them as a kid come out to bat, I thought that was too good.
So they actually have a good run rate. If you look at their run rate for 2014-15, they played 25 innings. They scored 922 runs and had a run rate of 8.2. Like for that era, I think that is fine. You take that. It's not bad
Varun
at all.
seems impressed. Look at that.
Yeah, if Varun is impressed, I think we can take that.
It's not
Mid
bad. I'm happy.
2010s, eight runs, more than 8 runs per over. He'll take that.
So we have a super chat. So Blue Eagle 2021 asks, how are you feeling about CSK this season? Good spoiler team, not gonna qualify.
Oh, that is a take. What about you, Ashwin?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they will qualify. We, on our channel, we made this entire video about the Chennai Super Kings, and yeah, we weren't too sure. They will win a lot of games, and I feel like they'll be fifth on the table or sixth. I don't see them
Oh,
qualifying.
mid-table team.
Yeah.
I see. I have not done. I think for some, like I think because I've been busy with some other things and some pieces and all of that. The thing is, I have not sat down and looked at all the squads and decided the order in which I'm going to pick them. So even when we were doing this in our friends group, I was just like, I'll predict the orange cap and purple cap the most runs and wickets because it's easy. I just went with Jaiswal and Bumrah, but I still don't have a top four, so I cannot conclusively say whether they would be in that or not. But just looking at their team and looking at, I mean, I have a rough idea of all the teams, right? It's not like I've been living under a rock, but I would still just say that their batting is good. I am not confident about their bowling because I did the preview for them, right? So I know what their team looks like. I even know the domestic players that they've picked. I like the look of the team that they've gone with. And obviously, they've invested a lot in some young players, some young talented players. But I just don't feel like it's a team that inspires me with a whole lot of confidence with the ball. Their batting is interesting. It could be very fun. But then again, it's not probably the best batting lineup in the tournament either. So I would say, I don't know. I'm not very confident about them at the moment.
I know this was a conversation that was happening in the group, but I really hope they use Sarfaraz Khan. Like he says, the top 7 should be Ritu Samson, Ayush Matre, maybe, or Urvil, Sarfaraz or Short.
Urvil,
And I
Sarfaraz,
really hope they use Sarfaraz Khan because if you guys did watch and when I say you guys, the comment section, if you guys did watch like Smat and Vijay Hazare, he's changed his game quite a bit. The way he goes about his batting, the way he stands, he's changed his technique overall, and that was quite shocking to me because you don't generally do that, especially if you play the test format. Well, then he got dropped. That's a whole other story. But he's changed quite a bit the way he goes about his batting. He's changed that, and I feel like I just want to see him play again in the IPL and get a couple of games because for someone who struck so much, he was the highest. He had the highest strike rate for Mumbai and Smat. He had the highest strike rate for someone who scored more than 300 runs in Smat.
Yeah.
He had the highest strike rate to whoever to score more than 300 in Vijay Hazare. Like that's
minimum
he
5
had
innings. I think he had the best strike.
Yeah. So I mean, look at that, dude. Like that's insane.
Like his Vijay Hazare strike rate was 198 from 190 from 5 innings, 300 odd runs, and again in the Smart as well, he had like a 60-200 split. So
I think he was the
just
only
insane.
batter to have a strike rate of more than 150 to score at least 300, if I'm not wrong, in Vijay Hazare.
yeah,
Like,
it
that's
could be,
just
bro.
something.
Like that is just insane stuff. So the thing with this is, my opinion would be that first of all, I would have had Matre opening with Samson and Ruturaj Gaikwad at 3, but since they've decided to go with Gaikwad and
Rutu and
Samson
Samson.
opening, dude, I don't really see a point in Matre at 3 in some ways.
Same.
Like if you
same.
want him to play, well, should he not be opening? Because he is a very good player of pace bowling in particular, and specifically of the pull shot. I think it was Sparsh Tilang who tweeted it on his account that he's got like a insane control percentage and a strike rate of more than 400 from the pull shots that he played last season. The issue with him, I think, comes that he has some technical flaw against the fuller ball, and for some weird reason, he hasn't scored a lot of runs in under 19 50 overs cricket compared to list A cricket. Is
Hasn't
that is the
scored
discrepancy,
at
right,
all,
Varun?
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know why that weird discrepancy is there, but
He's a
with
big team
Matre,
bully.
he's obviously talented, right? But I think if you play him, he has to open. So if I have to pick a number 3, then the other option is Sarfaraz, or you can have high intent. You can have a high intent guy like Urvil. But honestly, I think unless I'm missing someone else as a third pick, who did he mention in the comments? I feel like he mentioned 3 names.
I think he had
Urvil,
Matre
Short, Sarfraz, and Ayush Matre.
Short, dude, I don't know how to rate Short. Honestly speaking, like I don't know. I've seen him play. I have not gone into his numbers in depth. I might do it sometime, but for some reason, I honestly have no idea how to rate him. Like I know Mitch Owen is a proper 6 hitter, like proper 6 hitter. Okay, so Ashwin said Samson and Matre have similar flaws, hence Rutu over Matre. Okay, that could be interesting. What do you had some thoughts on that, Varun, didn't you?
No, it doesn't make sense to me because both Samson and Ruturaj don't like the good length. So if if Matre bashes the good length, is that not opposing strengths? So I'm lost.
Yeah, it could be something else that we are missing. We might have to listen to the actual segment to have better context of that. But I still think that with the options that they have, they are better off going with Sarfraz at 3. He's had good success in that position in the Smart. I would say let's just back him, and
Yes.
he is what, 28. He's into his peak years. Clearly had a wide ball breakthrough season, both ODI and T20 cricket, both List A and T20 cricket. So I think Sarfraz goes in at 3. Dube, Brevis 4, 5. You can manage their entry
Yeah.
points accordingly. 6 and 7, I think you need to go with both the young guys that you've invested a lot of money in. So Prashant Veer and Karthik Sharma, both of them have to go in. And I would say Dhoni at 8 because for some reason I'm not very confident about Dhoni at 7. Like, what do you guys think about that? I honestly don't know how to feel about that. I think
I feel
Dhoni
like
at
if
8 is
Dhoni
fine.
is at 8, then he shouldn't be in the squad. Because like if
Yeah, that's the
he
other
shouldn't
thing,
be,
right?
Like if he's at 8, he shouldn't be in the squad. Then might as well give it to someone else. Like let someone else take the position.
Okay,
But
so
you're right. You
let's say
have to invest in the youngsters, and you have to play them somewhere in the playing 11, and you have to
Yeah,
make
so
sure
then-
they're batting in a
Yeah.
good position. But yeah, if Dhoni is at 8, man, oh man, like it's
I think what can be done is you have Dhoni at 7, then you have Karthik Sharma at 6, and you have Prashant Veer at 8. You can go ahead in that direction as well, I think. And then obviously you have
Isn't
the
that
impact
the same issue then? Either way, like all that depends on how good Prashant Veer's bowling is. If he's a good fifth
Yeah.
bowler, then Dhoni can bat at 8 without any issues. If he's not, then that
Exactly.
really does cause. Then you probably have to drop
Yeah.
one of the other Indian batters to
That
accommodate
makes
him.
sense. Yeah. That is also there, dude. Yeah. I think Prashant Veer took 12 wickets in 9 matches in the Smart, if I'm not wrong, or in domestic T20 cricket, whatever he has played so far.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
They can go in that direction, but again, as Deepak Bhai was also saying, right, on the Hindi live that we did, that stepping up from Smart to the IPL, there is no guaranteed success to that. We were having the same discussion today as well in the group, right? You probably need to look at the trends and if a player is improving. So for Sarfaraz, it makes sense, right? He's had a breakthrough season in both white ball cricket, in both the white ball formats. He is around 28. This is like the prime of his batting in some ways. And you know what he can do against spin at his best. And if you see I was actually going through his wagon wheels when we were talking to Robbie as well. He's scoring a lot of boundaries behind square, which makes sense, I think, on both sides, both offside and onside. And then the other thing was that he was completely minimizing the dot balls and hitting lots of boundaries even with that. So I think that was a good sign that he's also, worked on his fitness and is running between the wickets. You're not getting as many dot balls in the middle. So I just feel like that then in that case, that is roughly the composition I would go. But I would also have Overton, I think, in my team. Overton and Henry as the two overseas pacers for me. And
Right.
you've got who would be the other? And Noor obviously is your spinner.
Noor.
Yeah. And Brevis is your fourth. Yeah. I think that is roughly my team.
I think that's a good looking CSK squad. I still don't think they'll qualify, but as they're playing
Same.
11, I think that's a good
Yeah,
looking
it's
squad.
yeah. It should be fun to watch, dude. At least it should be more fun to watch than last season, bro.
Yeah.
No, as I was saying last season, you can either be good and boring or be fun and terrible. You can't be boring and terrible.
Exactly.
Right? That is a criminal offense, right?
Yeah. Which they changed to be here towards like the mid
Yeah.
of the season, right? They started backing more of those guys. In fact, do they still have Sheikh Rashid in their team? Because I think the game I went to watch, the game where Dhoni wins it for them, that was the game where I think Sheikh Rashid also got a few runs at the start. Did he not?
He might have.
I think.
By
he's
the
in
way,
I
team.
know in
Wouldn't
the
you guys
Mumbai
play-
game, he bats very slowly.
Right.
That's the Matre's debut where he goes nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. And Matra also almost wins the game against RCB, bro. 90
Yeah.
over 48.
Yes.
Yep.
You were saying, Ashwin?
Yeah.
No, never mind. It was a conversation that went by. It's fine.
Yeah. The other thing is, right, I think with both the openers, which I don't
Yeah.
know how to feel about, is I don't think I rate Sanju's top gear as much as I think a lot of people do. Like I think he's more of a 150, 160 in the power play than he's 200. Because if you look at a lot of his 200 innings, he starts off at a good pace in the power play, but he doesn't go nuts. He's very good
Right.
at maintaining a good pace, but he's not like an Abhishek. Or even I
Yeah,
put
that
Matre's
is-
top gear as above Samson. So I'm like, if you have both Ruturaj and Sanju in the power play, I don't know if you will maximize it. That's my main issue with it. And
Oh,
the
that's
other
very
thing is
interesting
with
'cause-
Sanju is,
sorry.
do you know how we all know how Sanju is like starts the IPL season with a bang, right? I wonder if he played the Indian World Cup and thought that was the start of the IPL and all his good form is already done with. So he's just going to be declining from the start of the IPL. You never know.
Right. Yeah, you never know. But I think quite the opposite. I quite like Sanju Samson and Ruturaj Gaikwad as opening partner. Sure, like Sanju, as in terms of strike rate, isn't as big as Abhishek, but I think they just complement each other well in terms of the batting style. And I might be completely wrong here, but I feel like they will be one of the most successful opening partnerships this season in the IPL. And I know that's saying something because that's a new opening pair for the Chennai Super Kings. But yeah, it's just it's just a
Good,
thing.
very well.
Yeah,
bro.
the other thing is, as good as Sanju is, he's not shown like what signs of big runs, has he, in the IPL?
Oh yeah,
He's very good at
100%,
making
yes.
450, 500 runs. But
Exactly.
Ruturaj, we know, can accumulate a lot when he's on. I don't know if Sanju can. That's the other thing. So I'm a bit.
Exactly.
I'm still like a bit dodgy on that opening pair. I don't mind it. I like it. I know Sanju's fans will hate me for it, but still.
No, I think it's not even going against Sanju or Rutu as such, right? It's just about pairing them together. It might not be optimal for getting those 65, 70 runs on the power play, which I think teams will get a lot, dude. And if you just look at the batting orders everywhere, I think
Yeah, no,
It's
everyone's
bound
got
to
shit
happen.
bowling attacks and everyone's got good batting lineups. So
we are going to have
and the
a
kind of
bloodbath,
pitches they
bro.
make during the IPL.
Exactly. Plus the impacts of we are going to have a bloodbath, bro. I'm telling you, we are going to see 240s. And
yeah, you
like,
say that,
whatnot.
but like I still cannot statistically explain Hyderabad having the highest turn last season.
Yeah, you were saying that.
That has
Indeed.
broken me. Like, I don't know how to make sense of it because no spinners bowled well there.
Exactly. Dude, I think maybe it's also because just turn is not a great indicator. Like they had Zishan Ansari, the leg spinner. Maybe he was the one giving the ball a rip, like he was getting it to turn. I could be wrong. I'm just like guessing out of
Yeah, I
like
don't
I'm just
blame
wildly
you. I'm
guessing.
not sure either.
Yeah, you can also actually look at that. But yeah, I think the point being that we would like to see more variance in the pitches. I think at least Varun and I, we are not against the idea of batters going nuts and scoring as much as they can, because we kind of want that in a T20. So when people say, oh, we want 160, 180 balanced games, see in the IPL, 10 years ago, we would have said 160, 180 is high scoring. Like 180, you would have definitely said is high scoring. Even till 5, 6 years ago, bro, I would say, like, okay, you've made 180, that is a big deal. Okay, let's see whether the team can chase it or not. But now things are completely different, and I think some of that is just the natural evolution of the game, that batters are going faster, and obviously the pitches and the extra batter because of the impact sub rule. I think even Shubman Gill now has come out and said that he's not a fan of the impact rule, impact sub rule. Even Akshar Patel has said. I think Andy Flower was actually the one who said that he thinks that it adds an extra tactical element to the game. But I think it was Saurabh who went to the press conference and figured, like, I think I saw his tweet. So basically the point is that with so many batters, so many high intent batters, and everybody going nuts, you probably do want more variance in pitches, so you see a more, variety of games, not just like the run rate necessarily dropping, but more variance in it. I think that's what Varun was also saying, and I agree with him completely.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I think talking about the impact play rule itself, I like the impact play rule because of what it's done to Indian cricket. You see a lot of these batters just attacking. Yeah, I just don't.
Exactly.
I get where Akshar Patel's coming from, in the sense that where he says a lot of all rounders miss out, because you see how much Washington Sundar is missing out. Where in the last couple of years, if there was no impact play rule, teams would have bowled him, teams would have batted him, even though I don't really rate him as that high of
Counterpoint,
a.
he's been terrible whenever he has bowled or batted before.
No, I agree. I don't rate him as a T20
Yes.
player at all. Like, let's get that
Same.
straight. But without the impact player rule, he could have possibly got a more chance. And I'm not saying he would have done any better.
That's true.
But I just like the fact that
Yeah.
there's a bit of.
He
like,
could have evolved
some,
more.
Yeah, some batters who can also bowl could have also bowled without the impact player rule. That's the only thing that
Yeah.
I dislike about the rule. But apart from that, I think it's done great for batters.
I think with this, would you also not say that batters who can bowl, they reduce the quality of the overall game? Like, it's the thing where I think Varun also agrees with me, where in the 90s, in the 2000s, you'd see a lot of these batters who would bowl spin and, just like the middle overs phase where nothing is happening. It's not high quality cricket as such, right? You want
The
your best
Sour
bowlers to
Gangulys
bowl
of the
more.
world as well, by the way.
Yeah,
The
I
medium
mean,
pace, the
what
medium
Ganguly,
pace.
Sachin, Sehwag, all these guys could bowl like 10 overs together, right? But it's not high quality bowling. Like, who wants to watch them bowl in
Yeah,
like
100% agree with Amu. I think is. I believe if you're an all-rounder with impact player rules, you become more important because you give more flexibility to the team. This is the one thing I can't understand. I hear people saying the all-rounders die, but I'm like, you can't pick up a balanced 11 if you don't have an all-rounder.
Oh, no,
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, like I'm
That's-
confused.
That's true.
so-
Like, yeah, like you need Hardik Pandya in the Mumbai Indians, regardless of if he's a
Yeah.
captain or not. You will still choose Akshar Patel. I just like I liked Saurav Ganguly bowling. I'll tell you that was that's where I come from. Like, I like the bits and pieces bowlers. I just enjoyed it because it
I
was
know
not high
I
quality,
grew up on
and I
that too.
completely agree with it.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, it's
I
just
like
fun
it
to
when I
watch.
see Joe Root taking a fifer. That's when I enjoy Pat Simons bowling. I don't want to see Root bowl 30 overs on a flat pitch. Right? If you get me.
Yeah.
That's my wavelength.
Fair.
Yeah, so I think you want your part timers to be useful in certain matchup situations, or you don't always want them to bowl, but if they're bowling, if let's say on average you're having 20% of your overs being bowled by part timers, I don't think that makes for high quality cricket in either format or
Right,
either
yeah,
of the two white ball
100%,
formats.
yeah.
I
True,
think that I agree with.
Yeah, fair.
All right then, guys. Anything else? Any other interesting comments? Any more thoughts?
No, I think we've rinsed this enough. End our misery.
Yeah, I guess then. Did anyone else pick their team? Because for Rajasthan Royals, we had a few people who were picking their teams. I think we can do that again, just before we close.
I don't think so.
Seems like RR had more dedicated fans than CSK.
No, yeah, I don't think we have any comments.
All right then. I think on that note, we can close the show. So, this show was brought to you by Shayan, Ashwin, and Varun, and we have now done the all-time 12s for all of the IPL teams, all of the 10 IPL teams. So, if you want, you can go and check out the series. I think the credit for this entire idea it's the brainchild of Saurabh Somani, because he was really keen on us doing all of these shows, and I think he was there more for the early part of this, and even actually the eighth one, where for the LSG all time 12, I think he was the one there. It was the two of us who did it, right? And we've had various people do these shows at like different points, and what would you guys say is the most fun team? I think it's probably still Mumbai, right? With Rob not going for Rohit at all. Like, that is perhaps the most entertaining bit.
Yeah, Lendl Simmons and Dwayne Smith in the Mumbai All-Time 12 is an all-time. That's an all-timer rogue picks. That.
Yeah, and then later on he's like, no, I would have picked Sanat Jayasuriya. I think I should have picked Sanat Jayasuriya. That would have
He
made more
picks
sense.
Andrew Simons in the Deccan Chargers / SRH team as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would make sense, no?
That sort of makes sense, but it kind of ruins it, because that means we couldn't pick Dale Steyn. So I'm still a bit unhappy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where you got your Dougie Bollinger in the squad, so I
Yes.
feel like it balances
I was
out.
like, I needed some fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Overseas fast bowlers. All right, then. I think, so we're done with all of the teams. We're done with today's episode. We've rinsed this enough. All right, guys. Goodbye.
Combox. The game lives on.